A minute, I didn't view three. It's the University of Third Age, and it's an organization of senior citizens. Just a minute, then I'll just write something on that also because I'm.
It's starting.
Okay. A minute, I didn't view three. It's the University of Third Age, and it's a. So this is a recording.
Hi, Sujata. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for taking time to join this. And you being one of the pioneers in the educational firm and having a great experience. So definitely, this session would be very, very interesting to understand the impact educationalists are making at the grassroots level. So before we go with the session, I would like to introduce Sujata to the audience. Sujata is a distinguished author as well. She is an educationist and trainer. She brings nearly 40 years of expertise in education to today's panel discussion. With her extensive experience as a retired principal and current advisor at Springdale Children's School, Kota, Sujata has influenced countless educators across India through her role as a CBSE resource person and master trainer delivering impactful workshops for teachers and school leaders. Sujata, she has written, she has been featured in few esteemed publications like CNBO SEC, the CBSE's journal, and the Times of India. Wow. As an author, Sujata has penned down 2 Amazon bestseller books, Entangled Destinies and Search for Love, Truth, and Joy, a spiritually infused murder mystery. And in addition, very recently, Sujata has been felicitated with awards. So that's just a testimony to her work. Thank you, Sujata. Thank you. Thank you for joining the session again.
Thank you, Lakshmi. And you are so talented yourself, a brand scientist who has been working so hard. And recently I've heard that you've got an opportunity to conduct a very prestigious event. First, could you tell me something about that event?
Sure, definitely. So Pragna Bharati is one of the wings of RSS. And currently they are hosting an event called Lok Manthan in November in Hyderabad. This is a national event, and this event happens every 2 years in different parts of India. So the last one was held at Guwahati and a few other places. So this time it is being held. And the theme is Lok Avalokan, in the sense, to be able to bring the Lok Vichar, Lok Vyavastha, the aspects of these in terms of our Indian culture, Indian heritage. And for that, I have been requested for their content management work to facilitate them, help them with the content for their the write-ups for the event and even post-event. Thank you.
Really, really creditable. And I've heard the President of India also might be gracing the occasion.
Yes.
So that's a big achievement.
It's a 4-day event. So one day the president would be coming. And days, each of the other days, they are expecting at least a minimum 1 to 1.25 lakh people. And here there would be exhibitions, there would be panel discussions, and all to be able to get to our 70%, the 18 to 30 years youth, to be able to appreciate and connect back to our traditions, our cultures, and know the richness of it. Because these days in the modern age, what is happening is, we have come out a little from it, right? And so this is that effort that to be able to bridge that. Thank you for
Really,
asking.
very good. So I have just spent most of my time with education, with children, and training. These I've been doing all these years, and now I've shifted my gears, and now I'm into writing. And my wealth of experience, which I've gained as a teacher, as a head of the school, as a resource person, training teachers, educators, and school leaders, all this have really stood me in good stead.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. So this is where you all, make that impact. One. Yeah. Sorry, where is, yeah. Yeah, now over to the questions. The first in the line for you. Sujata, with your remarkable journey in education, what inspires you most about the role educationalists play in shaping communities at the grassroots level?
See, I feel that the most important thing that they do is that they reach individuals who may otherwise be overlooked once they, in their journey to shaping communities. This can lead to social and economic empowerment at the grassroots level. Social because they introduce new ways of thinking, they encourage innovation, and they also create opportunities. Economic because they can break the cycle of poverty and uplift entire communities. For instance, we have literacy programs for women in rural areas. They don't just teach women how to read, but they empower them to manage finances, access health care, and start small businesses.
Wow.
So they are raising them economically also.
Mhm.
So let me give you an example of a barefoot college in Tilonia, Rajasthan. It educates rural communities focusing on empowering women through vocational education. The program teaches illiterate and semi literate women. They're often grandmothers like me.
Even I'm a grandmother.
And then, they groom them to become solar engineers. Imagine illiterate, semi literate, and they manage solar panels and all that. So, over 3,000 women from 93 countries have been trained as solar engineers. And now, what they are doing is they are returning to their villages and installing and maintaining solar panels, earning an income and reducing electricity costs for the entire community.
Wow.
This is a great achievement. This is the impact. The availability of electricity has allowed children to study after dark, where there was no, continuous supply of electricity, improved literacy rates, and created economic opportunities like small businesses using solar energy. So the data, I was just checking on the data. It says the electrification of villages has led to 40% increase in evening school attendance. So you see, it's a ripple effect.
Wow.
And reduced family expenditure on kerosene by 60%.
Wow. Very nice.
So this was something remarkable that I found.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. To the next question. Throughout your years of experience, you have touched countless lives. Can you share a moment when you saw firsthand the impact of education uplifting individuals or communities at the grassroots?
All right. I recall a time when I was staying in a colony with my husband and family. And in the colony, we just took up a small project to teach women in the tribal village, which was close to the colony. One of the women who had never attended school before, she learned quickly to read and write. And then she began helping her small children also with their schoolwork. So this inspired other women in the village to enroll in the program. So this is first-hand experience, which really impressed me that if we can do our bit, we can really do something for society.
Wow, that is really awesome. It's like the chain of the change it kind of leads to.
Right.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. Uh, as an author, your book, The Power of Creativity in Education, it speaks to the transformative power of creativity. How do you believe creative teaching can empower students to make a lasting social impact in their communities?
If you unleash the creative power of creativity in schools, children can come up with so many innovative ideas that can really impact communities. Like Indians are known for their jugaad. Kuch bhi, any critical solution, they will come up with some solution, even with frugal means, even if they don't have too much resources. So, and children they are the powerhouses of creativity, I've seen. So I've always encouraged creativity in schools. I used to hold an annual exhibition every year, whichever school I led, and their children used to make projects and models. Children came up with such innovative projects for their communities. I remember one project, a student made a cooler which did not run electricity. There are so many others. When I think of it back on it, I wish I had, jotted them down properly, nicely. Then another example that comes to my mind is that you might have heard of the tech girls of Dharavi. They've proved that access to education and technology can transform lives. These uneducated girls from the Dharavi slums, they were taught coding by filmmaker Navneet Ranjan. You've heard of it? Yes, maybe. So what they did is they created apps like Pani, showing how local problems can be solved with innovative tech-based solutions.
Oh,
They are all slum girls from Dharavi, uneducated, but someone took the lead, taught them, and see what they are doing. Because they had a real problem, the water scarcity was there. It used to come for fixed number of hours, so they had to wait in a line. So all that problem, these little girls solved. They're just 14 years old, 14 to 16 years old. So you see, serving for the community with education.
Right. See, that's what, right? The education, the teaching part, whatever is taught, the way it can impact is multifold, right?
Yes.
It can impact in any manner.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that bit of knowledge. Okay. So, in your experience, how important is empathy and understanding in the role of an educationalist? Because you play a major role there, right? Because it's a direct, straightforward connection. And
Yes.
especially when striving to create those grassroots social impact.
Right. Absolutely. You're absolutely right, Lakshmi, because for creating grassroots impact, empathy is essential. Without that, you can't do anything. And education isn't just about imparting knowledge. It's about understanding the unique challenges and aspirations of the individuals and the communities that you are serving. So we used to try to develop empathy in students in our schools. We used to make them visit orphanages, old age homes. So they used to interact with the inmates, with the vulnerable groups like the elderly or those affected by poverty. And these experiences allowed students to put themselves in others' shoes and see firsthand what their problems were and if they design some solutions for them, some real world solutions. And there is another example which everyone has heard of, I think. Anand Kumar, the renowned Indian mathematician who has opened the 730, Super 30 classes program in Patna. So he is just grooming up these rural children, and they will go back to their communities and the impact they will make.
And it's a multiplied impact, right? It's a multiplied impact. One person, 30 people, 50 people, 100 people, and that kind of goes in a multiplication manner.
Perfect. That's what happens.
Very nice, very nice. And as an educator, you work with the students of all ages, right?
Yes.
And so how do you approach creating an environment where each learner feels empowered to contribute to positive social change? Because again, as you said, learning and teaching, not just that part of it, right? those
Yes.
roots of being able to again, give back. So,
Right.
yeah.
So actually, each child is not the same. Each child is different, has got something unique about him or her. So you ask when we make these, when we have these, uh, we ask the children to make projects and all that. We ask students about the issues they care for. It could be environmental conservation, poverty, health. And when students feel that they are heard, they are empowered, then they become more engaged. They identify the problems in their neighborhoods and come up with solutions, as we've seen with the Dharavi girls.
Right.
So we have to emphasize critical thinking and don't give students direct answers. First, of course, it has to be gradually built up. Guide them to ask deeper questions. There are techniques which I've touched upon in my book, such as Socratic thinking, design thinking. They're
Mm.
all tried and tested techniques. So
Right.
you use those questioning techniques with children.
Mm.
Let them think critically. Don't give them something, "Haan, ab tumko ye karna hai." Don't tell them that.
Mm.
Just lead them on.
Mm.
And then this will create a mindset where the children can understand, they can question the status quo and work towards finding solutions to the problems the community is facing. Like when we gave these projects, some students came up with reducing plastic waste
Mhm.
by reducing plastic waste by creating a recycling system.
Mhm.
Another group thought of setting up a neighborhood library,
Mhm.
fond of reading.
Wow.
So that way you give them ownership. That's important. And includes them all. Inclusivity is very important. So then they will come up with solutions.
Right. Yes, inclusivity, being, respected and being considered. These are all
Yes.
small things that really matter a lot, and especially for these children, the youngsters and all, right? As they're growing and the work they are doing, and their connection with the teacher appreciating him. Because if we really see, uh, again, when we relate, we remember the teachers in our life who have
Yes.
been teaching us in our right from our school times. But
Yes.
having worked, I'm at least having worked in corporates for 30 plus years, I may not remember all my colleagues, but I
Yes.
remember the teacher who taught me in my second standard, in my fourth standard, and certain subjects, right?
Right.
And when they teach certain important concepts, they have just totally remained. That's the
Yes.
impact the educationalists, especially the teachers, they make on the children, on the society. And then those children really grow up, and they kind of carry forward that. And that's why, right, sometimes what happens is, uh, the same children, they go to school, the teacher teaches them to do maths, for example. And
Yes.
after coming home, when they're attempting to do the homework, they get stuck. And the parents attempt to help. Then they will say, no, my teacher told me it should be done.
Exactly.
They will not agree to what the parent says if it is a different way of doing, right?
Right. Ah,
Because for
yes.
them, the teacher knows everything. The teacher is right from
Perfect.
from an education perspective when they come to school and all that. Obviously, while at home, obviously parents, right, what their father said, what their mother said. But in the case of when it comes to the studies, the schooling, coming back home, doing the homework, reading, studying, they say, no, my teacher told me like this only.
Yes.
Very nice. So, you have mentored teachers and school leaders across various communities. Which
Yes.
advice would you give the educationalists who are eager to nurture social responsibility and community involvement in their students?
So first piece of advice is lead by example. If we as educators are visibly involved in community projects, like small things, like you were just asking me about the award I got, like it's not very big things that we used to do, but small things every day, regularly, doing all these things. If we have to show the students that we care for the community and we are doing our bit. Once they see that, they sense it, and that is how we can lead. So it could be something simple like tree plantation drives during the monsoons, like every year in school we had. It was an annual event, always in all the schools, that during the monsoons, in the month of July, we used to have that fixed in our calendar. Then local health camps, visiting them, conducting local health camps. So it's the teachers. The teachers would also involve, not only, means all the teachers would get involved. So the children would see that all the teachers are getting involved.
Teachers are their role models.
Yes. So then, exactly. Then secondly, by integrating social responsibility into the curriculum through hands-on projects. Like the projects are there, internal assessment as a part of the assessment, as I think across all national boards, of course, and also the other boards, which are now there in India. So we should try to have those projects, at least some of them must integrate social responsibility to their projects. Something that they are doing. And the NEP, let me tell you, the NEP, the National Education Policy, they are doing a wonderful job. They have made it, they have chalked out a whole, the detailed plan and the detailed schedule also of working it out on how to develop creativity and through social, the projects should be something social, that are socially relevant. That's how the projects should be.
Right. So tell us something about your authorship journey. You have been, in the recent, especially, you have been really making waves. You've been designated as the best speaker in Hackathon, and then your authorship journey. So what are your upcoming books? So please share with us.
Well, for my first of all, I just wrote a murder mystery infused with spirituality, that is Entangled Destinies, because I always loved reading fiction and writing fiction and all that. So I used to love all that. So I wrote that. It is based on my visit to Varanasi, and I really enjoyed the vibes I got there, spiritual vibes that I got there on the ghats, the sadhus, the temples, the chimes of the bells, which I could hear in the evenings, the aarti, all these things had a great impact on me. And somehow I felt different. So I wrote that book. And then secondly, people told me that with your years of experience in education, why don't you write something on your experience? So I came out with The Power of Creativity. But then I wrote the first book. Then I thought that first book is basically for teachers, giving teachers some tips, proven strategies which they can use in their classrooms to encourage creativity. Then I thought that let me write something for parents also and for the community. So I'm working on that. And I'm also planning to write the sequel of my Entangled Destinies. So these are the two projects in my hand. And I've written for anthologies also, short stories. So they will be released and they'll be published soon.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
Yeah, and also at the India Literature Festival, you have actually exhibited. So share some insights with us regarding the cultural festival, the literature festival, and then some of your experiences over there. Because educationalist, then author, then the pride is totally different.
Yes. I think the India Authors Literature Festival was very, very well, meticulously organized by Shweta Samota and Manish Samota. They have taken so much pains and ensured that each one of us goes satisfied and happy. It was just brimming with happiness and positivity, the whole event. So that's what I really liked about it. The way, and we enjoyed it. We had a ramp walk with our books for the book launch, which was something super, something which I never thought that at 70, I would be walking the ramp. But there I was.
The authors, right? And the best of India's authors were on the panel.
Yes. And then many of our best It was very, very well organized. And then also we got an opportunity to sell our books. So I got a stall also, and I could sell quite a few books. So that was something that really amazed me, that yes, people do read these days. That is the feeling I got. It was a very good feeling. And now tell me about yourself also. You're working on as a brand scientist. So what exactly do you do as a brand scientist?
Sure, thanks for asking that. So, I worked as a scientist and I come from research and data, the scientific aspect of looking up at things. So, in that context, brand science, through brand science and research and data driven marketing, the intent is to be able to enable the entrepreneurs and women change makers. For example, people like you, as while you are an educationalist, you are a women change maker, right? Women change maker and NGOs, tell their brand stories, because so much of work, so much of great work, so much of impact to the society, so much of impact to the individuals, right? And and not all stories are kind of told and brought forward. So I'm on a mission as a brand scientist to enable further brand scientists like you. You are a brand scientist. You are a brand scientist in your educational field. You are a brand scientist in the authorship journey. You represent that, right? Right. And what is brand? Brand is basically, the unique way or your attributes in which you possess and you do in a particular manner. So that is where you have established a brand called Sujata, right?
Thank you. Yeah.
And yeah,
Yes.
and this brand building, it starts from the child when the child is so small, right? Because we say, oh, he behaves like that. He doesn't do like this. He plays like that. So these are all actually the attributes, the uniqueness, the
Right.
greatness, right? So
Right.
the branding aspect, it applies at various levels and various ages. So not just only in the business, in the products, like, for example, Nike shirt, right?
Yeah.
Or Adidas shirt. Not just that, they are brands. Yeah? So my mission is to enable these entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, women change makers, and in general, the NGOs. NGOs do a lot of work, right?
Exactly.
So to be able to, through digital means, I'm a digital marketing coach. So
Hmm.
additionally, with the flavor of digital marketing, social media reach, because the reach has to extend for them, right?
Yes.
And especially with the NGOs, the called the NGO digital reach or the digi reach. My aim
Yes.
is able to kind of extend their reach so that they get that visibility, they get that engagement, and that way what happens is the credibility, and they will be known to the larger audience, and it could help them in terms of their needs, right? And their needs in terms of some funding or some campaigns or some connections. More than anything, the collaborations.
Yes. That's a really remarkable thing, because that will really take the society forward, I think. The way, like, if these NGOs who are doing so much noble work, if they get noticed, if they get some collaboration, some sort of funding or something, maybe it will help them to do greater good.
Yeah. So my
So
aim is to just extend a hand through digital means and enable the brand scientist in them, right, to come out. So that way also, now the next in series of this talk is basically again one lady who lives in the US, but she serves the school children, the at the grassroots level of India, where they have really made so much impact for over the past 15 years through
hmm,
those philanthropic services. Isn't this awesome?
very good.
And this is
Would
not
love to.
known. Yeah,
Uh-huh. Yes.
people don't advertise. People don't normally, right? They don't get to tell
Huh.
all they have done and all that, right?
Yes.
So,
Mm,
but again, there are moments of pride as well, right?
right.
Moments of good pride, moments of contribution to the country, to the
Hmm.
nation, to the society.
Right. That's very important. You're also writing a book.
Yes, yes. Now,
Yes. Tell
one
me
was
something about your book.
the initial book was Empower the You.
Yes.
Empower the You, a guide for uh, holistic personal success in the digital way, because today it's the digital way. So empowering the you in the sense, for the individuals to kind of get that online presence and
Mm,
personal branding as individuals. For example, Sujata, again, as
mm,
an individual, getting her visibility, getting that online, because today it's all digital age. People have to be online, right?
mm. Right.
So I've written that book that would enable the individuals. Now I have gone a step forward to enable the entrepreneurs and thereby the business, thereby the change makers in the society. So my next book is on brand science, enabling again the storytelling part of it, the brand storytelling. So
Very nice.
and some brand stories of people who have really made the change. So a series of stories as well. So two different books I am kind of, one is already in progress and the other, because stories like people like you know, of course, with your permission, being able to publish in that book of the brand storytelling, where these are the key change makers for the country. So
Very great.
and this is my second innings.
Mm,
After 30 years of working in the corporate, recently I took a voluntary retirement, and since then, kind of picked the game and skills in the digital marketing space, the social media,
mm,
and then been contemplating as to how can I offer greater services to the community, to the give back to my country. And that way, incidentally, by God's grace, I got this opportunity with Pragna Bharati as a communications content strategy, right? For that
nice.
strategy.
Mm,
And then again, with individuals like you being enabling the brand storytelling part of it, and likewise opportunities to enable the entrepreneurs. There is a health and wellness institute in Bangalore who was interested in this aspect of enhancing their brand. It's already 10 years into the business and wanting to further enhance its brand, its storytelling,
mm,
and the impact
mm,
and the reach. So
mm.
that is what I do.
So
And
that's really remarkable.
thank you. Thank you.
It's new avenues, new careers, which I had not thought of before. So that is good.
Okay.
That's
And one other thing for example, I like is with being with the kids, right? Children.
oh,
Yeah,
nice.
I have a granddaughter, a 7-year-old granddaughter, and
Mm,
a 1-year-old, 1.5-year-old grandson. So
okay.
again, with my granddaughter, being able to do the podcast on the stories
Mm,
of children in their younger age who made a
mm,
mark today. For example,
mm,
someone like Abdul Kalam, right?
mm,
Someone
mm,
like Sachin Tendulkar in their own
mm,
fields, right? When they are children itself, those traits are seen. They have exhibited. They have worked hard. So there is a learning. There is a key takeaway for the children from it, so that
mm.
further it will enable them. So
It will inspire them. This what you are doing, these podcasts, they will really do a great service for the children, because I also want to do something for the children. They have to be brought up
mm,
properly. So it's really good. It will inspire them if they learn what the leaders, our great leaders, what they did as children.
right. So we have actually done a podcast of 15 series of such great characters globally across,
Oh,
yeah, across all. So that way, what happens? It will also enhance their knowledge. It will enhance and give them a visibility from a global perspective, right? And
mm,
then further, it will instigate whatever the little great masters they want to become in their life.
right. Something really good. So it's so nice interacting with you also and learn. I learned so much today from you.
Same here, same here.
Mm,
Thank you so much, Sujata.
yeah.
And again, looking forward to a continued great work that you're doing. And you are our brand scientist. One
Thank
of
you.
the brand scientists, right? So
Mm.
thank you and for doing what you are doing, for contributing to the society, for contributing to the country, for contributing in whatever little manner or a big manner, right? Whichever it is, the ripples will be felt, right? The
Yes.
ripples will be felt and it will kind of take it forward. So I want to ask you, a key final message you may want to leave to the audience who have joined our session as some tidbits from you.
Okay. So I will just say that follow your passion. That's very important because all of us are innately very good. I would say that innately all of us are good. We are all blessed by God. So we just find our passion, follow it, and always remember that always ask yourself that whatever you're doing is for the good.
Mm.
That is important. Always, all your decisions should be ethical. So
Yeah,
this is all that I have to say.
sure, sure. Thank you. Thank you so much. And further looking forward to continue connected state and you getting more awards. And I've been seeing you on your, social media posting, the pictures and then saying, hey, this is what this award and this is what I got. That was really awesome. And this morning, your post on LinkedIn also was really, kind of giving a broader context to what you were doing. So keep it up, Sujata. All the very best to you. Again, congratulations and thank you. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Also, thanks for the opportunity you've given by inviting me to this show. And I also just wish you all the best in your endeavors.
Sure.
You're
Thank
doing
you.
something very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.